What's up, guys? It's Chuck from Brady Adventures, and today we're going to install this cargo net into the back of our Acura Integra. And so over here you can see the parts that come with the kit. You have your cargo net, and you need to install a couple of these anchors to hold the ends of the cargo net, and then there's some existing hooks in the trunk that hold these ends with these clips right here. The only thing you really have to do is install these rivnuts, which allow you to screw in these little posts here that attach your anchors. This is the actual part number for the kit. Over here I have a number of tools that you need to get going. So you basically have to take a panel off. So I've got a couple panel tools, that back panel in the back of the car. You need to kind of score the plastic panel with something so that you can get your hole started to make space for this post coming through. So I've got a little step bit that I'm going to use to drill that, but as long as you have a drill bit that's the size of this, you can do it. And then you're going to need a tool to install a rivnut. Now there is a Honda tool, it's very expensive. There's a number of kind of more expensive and less expensive tools that you can get on Amazon. I'll put a link to this one in the description. It was about 15 bucks. And just to give you an idea how this works, this screws onto the rivnut, and then as you turn this just slides on there. It's just to give it some pressure. As you turn this, it's going to pull this in, which collapses this nut down on the other side of the sheet metal. The first thing I'm going to do is take my cargo tray out, just get this stuff out of the way. And now I need to get this back plastic panel piece off. This has 3 body clips right along here that kind of just come straight up. So the first thing to do is just kind of work this weather stripping up off of the sheet metal there. Real easy until you get past the panel. And then I'm going to try to find this first plastic piece and just should be able to just pop it up. There you can see one right here, one right there. There might only be it's only 4. Okay, so now I got that loosened, and then it just slides right up, no problem. So these circles right here, this is where the hole is going to go for your anchor point. So those little screw posts that I showed you, and then on the back side, there's a nifty little X marks the spot. So we're going to score that with our little score tool, and then drill it out. Kind of just get a little hole started here. Now, I think the instructions show a push pin, and there's one other guy that's got a video out with a push pin. You can do that to get all the way through. But I'm just going to do that. That's just going to give a place for my step bit to start. And then I'll start my hole here, and then I'll step it up from the other side. So you're trying to get the hole just as big as this sleeve so it can fit through. And that is the exact same size as the marking on here, so that's where I'm trying to step it up to. Just going to go nice and slow. So now I'm going to go from the other side so I don't have all this plastic bubbling out. That's just a little smaller than I need. I'm going to go ahead and do it through this side too. Okay, we're going to step this up one more and then see if this fits. Okay, so in the instructions it tells you to slowly step up your drill bit until you get to 12 millimeters, And my 7/16 is just slightly, I don't have a metric one of these, but 7/16 is slightly under 12. My next step at a half is slightly over 12. And I think you just want to have a little bit of slack in this. So look, this is still giving me a little bit of slack, but I'll still be able to tighten down that anchor all the way on. Turning my tool onto the rivnut here. The main thing you need to do is turn this, right? And as this gets tight, it's going to pull this out, and you want to keep that from spinning because these two things will keep together because you don't want that rivnut to spin in there. So this is the right spot, right? I'm basically going to hold it in there flush with my wrench, and the other wrench I'm going to use to tighten it. Now you can sort of feel the rivnut collapse a little bit once you get a certain amount of turns, and then it'll sort of stabilize in there. So you can see it's not coming out anymore. And then a couple more turns is going to get that tight in there so it's not spinning. I'll just do one more. So now I'm going to back the rivnut tool out. And really, I just want to make sure the rivnut, make sure it's, pretty snug. It's not going to be holding all that much pressure, so it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, that's fine. Put that in there. Panels going back in. Remove this weather stripping. Slide it down into place. Line up these clips back here. Those 4 clips. Looks good. Yeah, I'm going to put my weather stripping back on. You look right down in here, you can see that rivnut down in there. I'm going to take a little shim there and screw this tight. Okay, that was a little tough screwing it in. Let's see how this one goes. The other one didn't. I was having a little time struggle kind of screwing it in. I think maybe because it was just binding up a little. Probably because I drilled the holes slightly smaller. Since I drilled these holes slightly smaller than 12 millimeters, there wasn't a lot of play. So it was kind of difficult to get them in because it was binding on that plastic a little, but good enough. So now what I'm going to do on the bottom ends, I'm going to put these little clips, and that's going to allow me to clip it to this cargo connection right there. And then I probably want it like that. Put this one down here. Now I've got my little cargo net. The funny thing is, I've had these in other cars. This one's pretty small, so you're not going to be able to hold a whole lot in here, but it is nice to just put a couple bags of groceries in here, or you can put something behind this to keep it from flying around in the trunk. So the last thing we need to do is put our cargo tray back in here. Not the greatest cargo net ever, but it'll do the job. Whew, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Let us know if you have any questions about this or anything else you've seen on our channel or you think we're up to. And thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.
If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. And always feel free to leave us any comments or questions that you might have.